Hello everyone, I'm Rachel Tessman from stampyourartout.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Andover, Minnesota in the US, and I'm here to bring you a live paper crafting class. This is a special one. Not only is it on a Saturday, normally I'm live on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Central Time, but I am featuring projects made with the paper pumpkin kit. We are going to feature the September 2025 Fall for Toile paper pumpkin kit today. And today, by the way, is September 20th, 2025 at what time? 2:00 p.m. Central Time. So thank you for those of you that were able to tune in on this unique and special live. At some point, I'll get in a routine of having a consistent second date and time, or day and time of the week. But right now, it just kind of moves around on Fridays or Saturdays, sometimes Sundays. Anyways, thank you, everybody. It's fun to see the comments roll in, and I love that you're telling me where you're from, how the weather is, what's going on, if you got your kit, if you're a subscriber to Paper Pumpkin Kits. All right, so, and a special welcome to Sharon, if you're watching. I just chatted with you on the phone today, so thanks, everybody. Thank you all for coming. Thank you to my, got a stray hair over there. Thank you to my YouTube subscribers. Please subscribe, like, share if you can. And then also thank you to my YouTube supporting members, my fans and my supporters. Those of you that give monthly, you help out my channel, you help me to purchase technology and all of those good things. And so we do a special live for you each and every month at the end of the month. If you want to know my live calendar, there's a link in the description to my Google Calendar, and you can just follow that. And anytime that I'm going to go live, you'll be able to see in that calendar the dates and the times. Okay, so what are we featuring? We're going to do some alternate projects with the September 2025 Fall for Toile paper pumpkin kit. And so let's head to the desktop real quick. Okay, let's go down there and check it out. So this is what you get. You get your box in the mail, right? Those of us that are subscribers, we get a stamp set, we get a little ink pad, and inside the tissue paper are all the consumables, all the things that we need in order to play around with the kit. Now, I'm not going to open this whole thing. Well, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. We don't have Trisha with us today. She does Wednesday moderations. So if you have questions as we're doing the live, can you make sure that you're logged in, first of all, to YouTube or Google, your account, and that way you can comment in on the live chat. And then do something special with your comment to make it stand out. Thank you, Debbie. She goes, don't forget the thumbs up. I love emojis. Emojis always stand out. Capital letters stand out. If you put question marks before your comment, those typically stand out. And if you have, I just saw a comment roll in, if you ever have an issue with your paper pumpkin kits, call 1-800-STAMP-UP. You can also call your demonstrator. They can help with you. But if you have an issue with it, just call Stampin' Up. They're not open on the weekends, but on Monday, give them a call, 1-800-STAMP-UP, and they should be able to help you figure out how to take care of that problem, okay? We have really good customer service. Okay, so besides the stamps and the ink, you get your adhesives. Okay, we have little tiny mini dimensionals in here. I'm bringing in extra. I always bring in extra adhesives. So we have regular size dimensionals today. I have glue dots. These are glue dots also, but these are just a little bit different. I have tear and tape adhesive. Any kinds of extra adhesives always are great for making alternates. I also have foam adhesive sheets. These are like big, giant dimensionals. And then, of course, we have our two basics. We have our multi-purpose liquid glue and our seal adhesive that I'll be using. All right, besides the adhesive, you get embellishments. This time it's ribbon. We have some strands of ribbon to go on some of the cards. I'm also going to be bringing in some Mossy Meadow gold, kind of a glittery 1/4-inch ribbon. I'll be using some linen threads. Sometimes our paper pumpkin kits come with this, so maybe you can dig in a past kit if you want to search to see if you have any. I'm also going to be using Wink of Stella besides the ink color that comes in the kit, the Cajun Craze. I'll be using Wink of Stella. I'll be using my large Cajun Craze pad because it's easier for me. Early Espresso and Crumb Cake for my extra inks. Envelopes come in the kit, but they usually have some kind of decoration on them, and in this case they do. In fact, we're going to keep those aside because we're going to play with those first. And so you might want to supplement with extra plain basic white envelopes so that you can take and cut up the pretty ones, use them to make even more projects and cards, and then you have the basic white envelopes to turn to for when you want to mail or at least secure your card. Then we have card bases. This one comes with, and here, I didn't even share this with you yet. This is the instruction pamphlet, and you can see on the cover that you can make 3 of 3 different kinds. They come with 3 different sets of envelopes, so that's why there's all those colors of envelopes. And now I'm going to show you all these little elements that make up these cards, okay? You have your card bases, and those come in 3 different designs. Here's the early espresso, kind of like a little sketchy grid. The other one had it like sceneries in the woods, and then we have sort of like a, I don't know, a linen looking design on here. These are the layers that you get and the embellishment pieces. We get sentiment circles, sentiment strips, some foil, like a chocolate colored foil, earthen toned, I think is what it's called, earthen toned foil. And we have those in leaves. Then we have this scene that looks like a little cornstalk. We have some frames that have a half of a tree in them. And then we have all of these little punch outs. And of course you get 3 sheets of that because you need 3 of everything to make your 3 different sets of 3. Okay, now that we've gone through that, we will set that over here for now. And I'm going to show you this. This is the instructional manual that you get with it. And it doesn't have a lot of words to it, so it makes it really easy, especially for anybody who struggles with the English language. Let's say you don't speak English as your main language. So it makes it really easy for Stampin' Up! To reach more people. Visuals, gotta love it. There's even a ruler on the side. And then this sheet is just your stamp imagery printed out so you can easily see and not have to try to decipher looking at the clear stamps. All right, I love creating alternates. Every month I create alternates with these kits. I have since the beginning, since March of 2013. So if you visit my website at stampyourartout.com and you click on Paper Pumpkin, you're gonna find lots of information there. You're gonna see some tabs about, you know, like checking out what it's all about. It gives you all the information, how much it is per kit, that kind of thing. And then it's what am I thinking of next? It's also got a list of recent and past Paper Pumpkin posts. So you can go to search any kit you want in my website and it will give you the alternates that I've created. So should we get started? All right, here we go. We're gonna play around with the envelopes. I don't know why I chose these first. We are not multiplying the kit, by the way. Normally I multiply the kit. I love to take all the kit pieces and rework them to show you how to make, at least this is what I've been doing lately, to show you how to make like triple or quadruple the number. But today I wanted to play around. So I started with, or when I was creating with this, I wanted to play around and just do something a little bit different. So I started with the envelopes and I cut off the tips of them, the flaps. All right, so I just stuck them all in here like this. Probably not a wise idea, but this is what I did because I have a really nice sharp blade. You could do one at a time, but I just separated, and you kind of have to push hard. I separated all of these flaps from their envelopes. Then we have all these envelope bases, and you can see there's white on either side, so you could use that for like a card layer or for punching out of or whatever. So I put those off to the side temporarily, and then I flattened or straightened these out. I took the curve off. So I went to the 1 3/4 inch mark, and you could go a little beyond that if you want to, but I played it safe and just cut at 1 3/4. Press hard. You got your kit yesterday? That's great. You know what? There are a lot of people that don't have their kits yet. I don't know, I just got my kit 2 days ago and I'm like, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. I'm gonna go ahead and create with it now. These I'm using. So even though you'd think they'd get cut off, I decided to take them out of my trash bin and use them on my cards. Now I'm coming back and I'm trimming these straight. So I'm just taking the little angled edges off of each side. And it's not quite 5 1/4 inches, just so you know. It's like a 1/16 of an inch short if we were to get it exact. So I just decided to work with it because cards aren't perfect, right? These are my layers. And if you look at them, they all have the same exact pattern. They're the exact same pattern, and they're just in different colors. So I decided to keep them together and to just cut. And I cut just wherever I wanted. There's no measurement. I did an angle kind of like, I don't know, through this tree here, like that. And then I took this section and I cut that again. Probably like, I don't know, like right around here. So literally no measurements. I just kept everything together and I cut. And then I set them off to the side. I brought these out of my trash and stuck those over there. And then I wanted to use foil that matched the foil in the kit. And we have some, okay? Hey, yeah, these could be turkey feathers. I like that idea. We have some foil. In fact, we have a whole suite of products that coordinates with this, this paper pumpkin kit. So let me show you in the mini catalog. If you're wanting to purchase more items, in the mini catalog, we have some products on pages, oh gosh, I think it even starts on 39. 39, there we go. The Autumn Toile suite of products. So there are foils, the earthen toned foil or specialty, metallic specialty sheets, I think is what they call it. I'm calling it foil. These fun, they're like a brownish pecan. There's like a pecan tint to them. There's kind of a multi-brownish colored embellishment. And those are the streaked dots. We have 2 bundles, 2 stamp sets and 2 dies. That's what a bundle is a stamp and die combo. The Amber Autumn, and then we have the Amber Autumn dies, Amber Tree, or Autumn Trees, and then we have the Autumn Trees dies. We also have designer paper, and if you look at this one right here, it looks just like the envelope. So if you want to, you can purchase that product and you can make your kit go even further if you want to. Okay, we're gonna set that catalog aside and we're gonna work with the foil right now. I have a piece that is, I think, oh, it's almost 2 inches. So we're gonna cut that down to 2 inches by 5.5. 2 inches by 5.5. And we could go even shorter if we want to, but I'm gonna just stick with the 2 inches. Okay, so we have that. And we would do 3 of those. And then I'm gonna, what am I doing? I'm gonna bring in one of these leaves. Okay, I don't know which, I have 2 kits that are open now. I don't know which one to pull from. I'll just pull from the newest one. So I want 1, 2, 3 leaves, because I'm making 3 different cards. And then we need those envelopes back in, which are right here. So I'm gonna show you how to get white paper out of this. We're gonna take the open side and we're gonna make sure that we're cutting off these 2 edges so that we can open the whole thing up. You can either start at this edge or you can start at this edge, but we're cutting off the 2 sides. We're covering up the dark area of our trimmer and we're gonna slice off, it's about 1/16 of an inch, flip it over and cut off 1/16 of an inch. I need to start my little garbage pile up here. Okay, so now we have this open piece here. Oh, I did it wrong already. I'm just too excited. Okay, let me do that again. It's okay. I always have extra envelopes when I'm done creating. We're cutting off just one side. One side. And then we're gonna flip it over and we're going to cut at 1/2 of an inch. That's gonna bring this piece to 5 3/8 inches, which is the same, same width. If you put these pieces together again, that's the same width. 5 3/16. Did I say 3/8? 3/16. It's just under 5 1/4. So we're trimming off 1/2 inch. Should I zoom in? That would probably help. You love the brown coppery paper. I do too. Oh yes. In fact, I have a card made with that sunflower embossing folder with it. I just got it yesterday from my friend Janelle. She brought it over. It's gorgeous. Okay, so we're cutting off 1/2 inch from this side, and that's gonna make this like a super thick, white feeling piece of cardstock. We're gonna keep that together. In fact, we're gonna take our glue. Let me bring in, I gotta show you, because I keep my glue in my cute little, the Country Hive storage containers. So this is the newest guy. It's a little ghost. Isn't he precious? If you go to thecountryhive.com, I didn't put the link in there, thecountryhive.com, and you can purchase their little ghost Tombow glue holder. So I take my glue and I use it from that bottle too, but I love to use it out of the precision tip bottles. So I transfer it to this, and then I hold that in this other container. So I have my 2 different glues here, and we're just going to take and put a little squeeze right in here, just to press that together and make it a nice thick piece of white cardstock. You're going to do that to your 3 envelopes. Then after you've done that, you have this piece that will automatically kind of like break off. You've got a large piece of white and you've got a smaller piece of white. For this one, you can cut it down to, let's see, if we were doing a 1/4 plus a 1/16, then we do just under 4 inches in this direction, and that will be a nice inside layer for our card. And then for this piece, let's trim off that rounded area. And then we can go and cut in this direction at 3 1/4. And in the other direction at 4 1/2. We're cutting off this thick side here. You see how there's a difference here? Yeah, so we're cutting off that. We're gonna make that at 4 1/2 inches. And now we have 2 card layers that we can use for our cards if we want to, especially if we're gonna use another color cardstock, which I'm bringing in. So we're just gonna assemble one, and then I'm gonna walk you through the steps for the other 2, because we're not gonna do all 3 of these. Got it? Let's take our crumb cake cardstock. I have crumb cake cardstock, and I'm gonna zoom out now because we're way too close. And we're going to score through at 4 1/4 inches and then cut at 5 1/2, okay? Oh, thanks, Cheryl. I just read your comment. You know what? So even if you don't get the kits, right? You get some tips and ideas just by watching the alternate kit videos. I do kit videos for Paper Pumpkin, and I do them for the Kids Collection kits and sometimes the scrapbooking kits, right? And yeah, thank you for watching, even though you're not a subscriber, because you get other types of ideas. Okay, we're scoring through both of our card bases at the same time, and then we're going to rotate and cut at 5 1/2 inches with our dark blade. And now we have 2 card bases ready to go, real quick and easy, just like that. Let's take one of the card bases, grab our bone folder. Gotta love this tool. This is a tool that comes in handy for creasing and for curling, you know, pressing adhesive in place so that it stays bonded real well. This piece here is going to layer underneath these. And when we do that, I decided I wanted just a little green accenting on the top and bottom. I went and debated between Mossy Meadow and Old Olive. I went back and forth because I love this Mossy Meadow / gold ribbon. But I decided that either one would work, but I wanted the brighter color because I thought it just reflected better off of these 2. So we're gonna take our, here we go, our scrap of Old Olive, and we're gonna trim a couple, I don't know, let's just make them 3/8 of an inch. Just something skinny, but not too skinny. Okay, so you're gonna do that for each card. This for each card. Actually, one of the cards you don't need that. One of them you're gonna do the ribbon instead. But let's just do the first one. Okay, so let's grab our seal adhesive because that's quick and easy. You can also use the tear and tape. That's a nice adhesive, especially if you're not someone who loves the seal adhesive, but you want a dry tape. We're gonna take tape and we're gonna put it right along the edge of both long sides of this foil. So right along the edge. And then we're gonna take our strip of green, we're gonna connect our foil to our green in this way so that we don't even have to try to do it using the green paper. We're just doing the foil, picking it up. And there we go, we have a little accent of green there. And then we'll do the same thing to this side. And I'm doing it so that I don't even have to trim off 2 edges. I'm connecting one edge right up to where it needs to be, and then the other edge hangs off the end. And then we'll grab our snips, our scissors, And we'll trim that up. And now we have a nice layer with a bright green. The other one is a lot darker, so I think you're gonna like that I did this. Now, if you are going to do any stamping or embossing on your background, this is your background, this is your base. You wanna do that now. So you use this as kind of a guide. Where do I want this to sit? You figure it out, and then you can stamp. You can stamp, or you could emboss this first, and then you can take and do your inking to get it to look really great. We will go through the embossing steps so you can see that, but I'm gonna go ahead and just tape this on now. And when I do that, I'm just gonna take and put like a little bit in each corner and some through the middle, okay? I'm not gonna press too hard because I will be lifting up a portion of this. I should put this over here so I don't have to keep turning my head. And this is, I don't know, about a little over 3/4 of an inch from the top edge. Okay, it's a little over 3/4 of an inch. And if you want to, you can use your grid paper as a guide. Then we're gonna take and figure out our patterns, which ones are gonna go with what. So if I have all of my pieces, here they are. Okay, here's all my pieces. And some of you have done this with pattern papers that are exactly the same before too, just in different colors. It's so cool. So we're gonna take and separate the orange, that's the top layer, into 3 places. Then we're gonna take the reddish color, Cajun, and we're gonna separate that into 3 places. And then the last one, well, this one's obviously gonna have to go there, this one goes down here, and this one goes here. So then when we put them together, we have a continuous design. We have a continuous flow of that design. And I'm gonna do, should I change it? I should, no, I'll just stick with what I'm doing. Okay, so I love to change things up, but then I have to take more photos. So we'll just keep the same pattern. I've got these for the first card. These will set aside. That means I'm also using this piece, so these will set aside. And then I only need 1 leaf per card. In fact, the last card I think I used 2, but that's okay. So on this one, we're going to cut at, make sure I do this right. We're gonna cut like right here. You're like, oh my gosh, you're cutting the leaf. Okay, so we're cutting it. And you wanna cut straight. So hold it with your 2 hands, Rachel. So now we have 2 leaves. This one doesn't really look like a leaf though, does it? We'll make it look like a leaf. These are gonna go on next. And I used Herma transfer type tape to just kind of position it first. So I just took a little temporary tape, stuck it down in place. My 3 pieces ready to go. And then I moved them if I had to. So if they're not where I want them to be, I can shift them. Notice too that this side's a little bit thicker on this than on this side, but that's because we have an extra 1/16 of an inch that got cut off from our flaps. So I'm just gonna take and lift this one up, put my adhesive on here, my permanent adhesive, my seal, and I'm gonna shift it maybe just a hair like that. And then we'll lift this one up and we'll do the same thing. And we're connecting the images. We're also keeping that 1/8 of an inch all along the top and bottom so you can see that foil. And that's what I meant about you could cut the foil shorter in this direction if you wanted like a thinner amount of foil. It's up to you. So now we're a little bit more balanced on each edge. You can see, okay, there's our fun design there. And then this one is gonna get glued here. Now, I decided to glue it down after I put the leaves on, which I like on the first card, but on the second and third one, I glued this down first and then stuck the leaves on. But let me show you what I did to put the leaves. So I put these back together like that so that I could just take and wipe across the back of the whole leaf. And now I have adhesive on both pieces. Take and twist them to get them to separate. This one's going to get stuck down underneath just a little bit, right there, close to the edge. That's how you make it look like a leaf. You have the edge of it coming up. And then this one has a connection, sorry about that, right here. I had food right before this. That's so gross, Rachel. Okay, there we go. So now we're gonna take our precision tip bottle and we're gonna add a little bit of glue through here and pick it up carefully. You can use tweezers if you need to, but we will lay this down underneath here so that it's centered under the envelope layers. And that's what I did to decorate that. Again, you could take and put the leaves on top instead. You'll see that on my second and third card. Okay, then the sentiment. So let's grab that sentiment strip. Where did it go? It's over here, I think. Oh, Rachel, is this it? Nope, that's not it. It's around here. We might have to cut another one. Oh my goodness sakes. Maybe Nick can find it for me. He's right here. Hi, Nick. Did I drop it on the floor? What is wrong? Okay, we're just gonna cut another one because I don't know where it went to. That's just silly. Okay, let's take our third envelope. Let's just cut off a 1/2 inch from one side. Let's glue it again. This is our thick piece of white that I was telling you about. Remember, we created a thick piece of white. So you're just gonna take and stick your glue in here. Set that aside to let it dry. I don't know where I would have put that. It's around here somewhere. Oh, the beauty of live. Okay, then we're going to cut this at, and I'm just gonna measure because I wanna make sure I tell you the exact amount that I used. 3 inches. So we're gonna cut this again with our closed end. This is our open end. You can see the open end right here. We're gonna take our closed end and have that right here. This is trash, and this is our cardstock piece. This is what we're gonna stamp on. Stamping is next. So you're gonna take your stamp set, and I have my other one somewhere, my used one, because I have 2 kits here. We're gonna grab our Thinking of You. We're gonna peel that off, put it face down, let it relax a little bit. Then we'll grab our block, and I'm using the D-size ergonomic blocks, but the Stampin' Up kit that you first get, the paper pumpkin kit that you first get when you become a subscriber, the block, this is a dirty one, but it looks like this. So it's not ergonomic, but it's the same size, and it works. It's a D-size block. So we're gonna pick up our stamp, then we're gonna take our ink, and again, I'm using my larger of my ink pads. I'm choosing not to use my spot because this is super quick to just go like that. Then we'll take and use a dark base here so we can see where we're going. And we'll stamp that down like so and press evenly without rocking. I love the clear stamps because you can see right through to where you're going. We will flip this over and we're gonna add dimensionals to the backs. On this one, we did not. We did not. This is our simple card, Rachel. This is our simple one. And we're gonna put this left edge right up to the left edge here, and it's about 1/4 inch from the bottom of the pattern paper. So it's crossing through. Basic, easy card to make from your envelopes. If you do this 3 times, you have 3 pretty cards from 3 pretty envelopes. The inside can get this piece right here, this layer. I think I put the larger layers in. Yep, I did. So you can take and stamp first if you need to, because then you'll have 2 sides to choose from if you make a mistake. And then you take and tape it in, and you have a place to write on the inside of your card. So that is card number 1. Card number 2, remember I told you to stamp first before you stick everything down? So you can use the leaf images that are in your stamp set. So there, it comes with 3 different leaves, and you can stamp those. And I stamped them using crumb cake ink. So I brought in 2 inks to up this card just a little bit more. So instead of using the Cajun Craze ink, that reddish brownish color, I used a darker color, Early Espresso, because I thought it really worked much better with this foil, this specialty foil. This looks more like a brown to me. So I brought in Early Espresso, and when you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you collect a lot of these little ink spots, and then over time you have lots of colors to choose from. And it's nice because you don't have to have a whole craft room to work with kits. I also brought in the crumb cake, and the crumb cake is for right here. So I stamped little leaves behind here, crumb cake leaves, and then I stamped this with the Early Espresso. You can see here, I put it up onto dimensionals. So I stuck it up higher and then put it onto my card. You can use the dimensionals that are in the kit, but over time you're going to probably run out, and that's why it's good to always invest in like extra adhesives, like the larger dimensionals or the smaller dimensionals. Just an extra pack of each are great. And then this guy here is our linen thread. And so you can take some linen thread. I took about 10 inches of it and I tied it in a bow. And then after I did that, I took and rolled up a glue dot. So you just take one of these glue dots and you roll it with your finger or your scissors or something. Make it into a tiny little burrito is what I've heard. I love that term. Tiny little burrito. Then you can take and add your linen thread bow right onto that rolled up glue dot. And now you have a bow ready to stick onto something. I'll just put it right there. So that's how I upped this card. That's how I made it a little bit more than what it was before. So it's got some texture to it with the shadowing from the dimensionals and with the stamping, and then of course with the linen thread. Then the next step up, the last step up was done by adding some dies. Let's see if I can find them. Ah, they're back here. Okay. So for those of you who do have some space to store some things, you could get a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. A Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, what does that do, Rachel? Well, it can help you to cut out really pretty images using dies. This is our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. It's smaller, it's less expensive, it comes with all the plates you need so that you can crank things through, and the rollers that are in here press things together and cut your paper up. Or you can get the bigger one, and the bigger one is much bigger. Okay, and then what you can do, and it comes with all the plates and platforms and all of that, and then what you can do, stick these sticky notes over here, is you can use things like bigger tools, bigger dies, embossing folders. Let's emboss, and then we'll do some die cutting. So I'm going to take my plates, and all I need is the bottom platform number 1. I'm going to take away these 3, and I'm going to use the gray, and the gray is going to be in between. We're going to take our crumb cake base that we cut and scored already. We're going to slide that in between so that our crease goes right in there, just beyond this edge, so that we're embossing the whole front of the card. Then we're going to lead with the seam part of our embossing folder first, the folded part. Put this on top, keep everything nice and flat and straight, no twists and turns. Then we're going to crank. And the handle on the side and the handle on the top help you to support everything, so everything stays where it needs to go. And when you're done, you get gorgeous textured paper. This is our exposed brick embossing folder, and look what that does. Is that gorgeous? You can die cut with this too. So let's take some dies. So I told you that we have coordinating dies from that suite. This one is the Amber Autumn dies, and I'm just going to grab this leaf here, which looks like one of the leaves in the kit, and I'm going to grab another set of dies. And these dies are the, let's make sure I can find them on my table. Oh, they're back here? Nope, those are the new ones. Think, Rachel, think. Oh, they're right here. I had them sitting right here. Okay, these dies are called the Circle of Season dies, and they coordinate with this September kit, and then also coordinated with the August and the July kits. So this is one die that I used. I also used the leaf. We're gonna pull that out. And you can even make a little acorn with it. You could even use the hello in there. If you wanted some flowers in your fall cards, you could do that too. So let's take and do some die cutting with these two leaves. And with the foil, oh, here it is. So we're gonna grab our foil scrap. This time we're getting rid of the gray folder. The gray folder was for embossing. So we're gonna slide that back this way. Now we need the number 2 platform, the die adapter plate is what I call it, die cutting plate. We need our scratchy, one of our 2 cutting mats. And we're just gonna place this in here. And then we'll place this one next to it. Don't overlap your dies. If you want to, you can use sticky notes. Sticky notes or sticky flags, Post-it flags, or Post-it notes to help hold everything in place. It looks like they're gonna stay in place though, because we're sandwiching them. We're gonna crease them really hard so that they can't move. And we'll crank it, and then we'll pull this away. I probably should have trimmed this beforehand because you can get some indentation on your foil. Foil likes to do that. Then what you have here are pretty leaves with the metallic foil on it. So stunning. There's one, and this one looks like this. So I have a couple foil leaves. Aren't they cute? Oh, we're gonna lose that one. Okay, let's take those and put those over here now. Put those away again. And let's tidy up and go on to the next card. The next card is a very, very simple one. Oh, I didn't show you the finished. Oh my gosh, Rachel, slow down. Okay, so here's the finished of the third one. This one's a lot more detailed. It has the linen thread bow in there still, but it's been combined with a little bit of that mossy meadow and gold ribbon. So it looks really thin though, doesn't it? That's because I cut it lengthwise. I cut a lengthwise piece of that ribbon. I cut in this direction to get it to be skinny. Okay, I just went like that. And I cut about 7 inches of that. And then this is again a 10-inch piece of linen thread. Put them next to each other and tied a knot together. So that's this bunch here. And if we take that off of here, let's see if we can. So you can see what's underneath there. Oh, I might not be able to get it off. Oh, there we go. Okay, so underneath there, I have, again, my sentiment piece that's up on dimensionals for shadow. But instead of putting the cardstock back here, I put the ribbon back there. I stuck the ribbon back there so there was a little bit of sparkle behind the foil. And then, of course, the leaves, just like on the second card, the leaves are sitting on top of this edge here. So they're on top of it. And they're pushed into a corner. I did use 1 full leaf here, a portion, and a portion. So I did use 2 of the leaves from the kit. And then here are die cut leaves from the foil, 3 of them. Die cut leaves from Timid Tiger cardstock, 3 of them. And die cut leaves from the Old Olive cardstock, 3 of them. So, and you can see there's kind of a curl. That's because when you have those leaves, let's see if I can find it here. You can take your bone folder, here it is, and you can put your thumb on top and pull it through where you're kind of turning. You're turning, there, that's a better angle. You're turning and you're giving it a curve. And then you can curve your leaves. And then when you stick them in here, they have more of an animated look to them. And I just stuck them in there with glue dots. They each have a glue dot on the end. Do you see the difference between these 2 embossing folders or embossed layers? This one has some added crumb cake ink. What I did is I used a blending brush. I took a blending brush and I took the ink and I went like this to get the ink onto the blending brush and then just gently pressed on the surface And the parts that are up higher took on more ink. The parts that are lower took on less ink. And you can already see the difference between. And so I kind of did that in this lower corner and in the upper left, so that there was a little bit of, I don't know, ancientness put onto the cards. Do you like that? You use marshmallows to ink emboss? What? What? I have to scroll through. Cheryl, what are you saying? I used marshmallows to ink emboss. They look just like a marshmallow and are made of hard rubber for inking raised areas. Oh, that sounds cool. Stampin' Up doesn't have that. That sounds so pretty, or sounds so cool. Okay, so there is how I did that for these two cards. Okay, or for that style card. We're gonna close this up. And all of them have that bigger layer of white from the envelope on the inside. Next card. This one's super simple. We're taking a piece of early espresso cardstock that's already been cut and scored. And we're gonna add an extra score line in there. So let's take our trimmer, and it doesn't matter, either side is the same. So we're gonna bring it in here at 2 1/8 inch, and we're gonna score. We're gonna fold this back, so now we have a Z-fold card. Next, we're gonna take a layer from our kit, and I'm gonna grab from our new, is this our new kit? I'm gonna grab from our new kit. Here it is. We're gonna grab a cardstock or a card base layer that looks like this. And I'm not actually gonna trim this one because I have a piece ready to go. But we're gonna position it with the top edge going here, the left edge here. And we're gonna trim off 1/4 inch. We're cutting off 1/4 inch so it's slightly shorter. And now it is this short. I'm gonna shift this out here so you can see. See, we cut off 1/4 inch. Then we're gonna cut down the middle. We're gonna cut through the score line so that we have a piece that is 4 1/4 inches wide by 5 1/4 inches tall. Doesn't seem to make sense yet, right? It will. Next, we're gonna grab some of the ribbon from the kit. And we're gonna take and do that trick where we cut right through the middle, like so, that I was telling you to do with the Mossy Meadow. So you're cutting it, you're making it thinner. Then you may wanna do this because it's gonna happen anyways. But you take your ribbon and you pull just a few of the threads. See that? We're just pulling a few of the threads, a few of the initial threads out of here. And I'm gonna trim like this, just to kind of pre-clean so that we don't have that fuzzy stuff happening on the card as we work with it. Oops, come in and cut. Okay, then you can take and shove those threads off to the side. So we have our skinnier ribbon. And our skinnier ribbon, do I have an ink pad opening here? I hope not. I don't want anything to get inked up over here. Okay, so our skinnier ribbon is going to be put on with some tear and tape adhesive. Tear and tape adhesive, gotta love it, I do. We're gonna take and tear some. We're gonna tear it off. It doesn't have to be exact, but we're going to, and I think this is where I did the trick. Maybe. Okay, so let me share this trick with you. You're gonna take and fold it over onto itself. This might take a little bit of time here, but it's worth it. So you're folding it over. There's also a twisty technique that I used to teach too, but that I could have taught. But I'm doing this one because it tends to be flatter than a roll, and the twisting gives it more of a roll. So now we have a piece of tear and tape that is skinnier. It's not perfect, but it's skinnier than what it was. Then you grab and you peel off the backing from one side. You have to get your finger under there. Or you could use a tool, but you're peeling off the backing. There we go, it's releasing. So now my adhesive is only on one side of this because it's folded over. It's only on the upper side if you're looking at the video right now. Then you can take and add this to your card. And I'm going to line this up here. I want my ribbon to go within the 3 inches here. I want this piece to lay like right here. So I can mark it if I want to. Maybe I'll mark it with a pencil. I want it to go kind of in here and in here. So I take my adhesive. You want to be careful with it because it's going to stick onto itself. And you grab it and you take the card. You could put temporary adhesive underneath if you're worried about it moving. But you stick a little bit down there and you stick a little bit down here. And now you have this skinny, flat adhesive running through your card. And then you can take, and we'll just make this straight again, wherever it is, and add your ribbon right through here. And it's straight. It's straight and it's stuck. Then you can take and you can tear. So we're going to tear to expose a white edge right along the right side of that ribbon. And I'm tearing up with the right hand and pushing away with the left hand to get that white core to be exposed. Next, and this is where I got smart and I did do the temporary adhesive. We're just going to take a little bit of this. And we're going to find that positioning on the grid paper again where we have our 4-inch wide section. Okay, and we're going to lay this down, tree side up, keep following the pattern. We're going to lay it down right there, and we're going to lay this one down next to it right there, and we're going to stick them together. So I need just a little bit of adhesive in between them, and I'm going to put it on the back side of this, because if we have some seeping out on the back side, it's okay. Like we don't have to cover up this whole thing. So we're going to lay this here, and we're going to let this fall into place, and it's going to line up almost pretty darn well with the design that was underneath there. You can see there's that tree, there's that tree, there's that tree. So it kind of continues that imagery. Got some tape, just grab some regular like Scotch tape or whatever. Fold these over, stick them down, or you could use the tear and tape, that works too. Fold it over, stick it down, and that way it won't fray on the ends. You can take your tear and tape or seal, or at this point glue, or whatever you want. And this is going to go on the front of the, oh, this one is not my, this is not my fun fold card. Putting this aside, we're going to grab our other brown. The fun fold comes soon. Not yet. Hang on. We're going to do another one here. 5.5. This is not our fun fold card, Rachel. You went way ahead of yourself. 4.25. Okay, regular card base. We're going to add that right in place here. Some of you were panicking. I could feel it, right? Do you like that? Was that tricky? You like that neat trick? I love it. Oh, thanks. Okay, so do you know the roll? So Nan remembers it. So you take, because I was referring to it, so I might as well share it with you. You take your tear and tape, and you put it on your finger, dry finger, make sure your finger's dry, or put it on something else where it's gonna stick to it. Then you peel up the backing on one end. Okay, I've got the backing here. Put your other finger at the other end, peel it all away, hold this end, and it doesn't matter if you're squishing it because you're gonna roll the whole thing. And now you have a roll of adhesive, really sticky tape ready to go. Really thin. It's awesome. And now it's sticking to things on my desk that I don't want it to. Okay, once we've done that, then we can take and add some extra goodies. You can use your circles that come in the kit with the little foiling on them. You can stamp that, stick it on here with dimensionals. Of course, you want to stamp it first. You're going to stamp it, then pop it on here. And then you can embellish with pearls. White always goes with white cardstock, right? So if you're lacking in an embellishment, pearls and rhinestones, get those. Those are basic and they go far. And you can also color them with like blends markers, alcohol-based markers, so that you can make them any color you want. Okay, but let's say you run out of those, because you can actually make 2 of these from 1 card base. And if you have 3 of these card bases, you can make 6 of these cards. You're not gonna have 6 of these circles. So let's say you really love this design and you wanna make more. Well, then grab some white cardstock. Just some white cardstock and a punch. But let's stamp first. Let's grab our stamp. And we're gonna clean off. We're gonna clean off our stamp that we just used, because I don't have my second D block over here. Let's clean that off. You can also clean it off with a damp washcloth or baby wipe or whatever. So there's that stamp. Just stick it back in on your sheet. Okay, let's pick that one up and let's ink up in, I love the early espresso color, so I'm gonna stick with early espresso for this. We're gonna ink that up. We're gonna stamp it down onto our basic white cardstock, press and lift. And again, you could stamp that on here. You can see right through it so you know exactly where that image is going. But I like to stamp before I punch. Sometimes it's easier. So let's grab our punch next. We're gonna use the 2-inch circle punch. So here's our 2-inch circle punch. Flip it over, unlock it, upside down, center, and punch. You can do that again with some of that foil. Oh, it's underneath my machine. So you could take and punch out some of this foil, and then you cut the foil in half so that you have 2 half pieces that you can stick on the back of your circle with just a little bit of width between them, like 1/8 of an inch. And then when you have it on here, you've got just a little foiled edge sticking out from the 2 sides of your sentiment piece. You can flip this over and you can add your dimensionals to the back side. 1, 2, 3. 3 is good because every table needs at least 3 legs to stand. So 3 is good for a circular piece. Then you just take and add it on here. You're gonna grab your pearls. I like to open my embellishments on the side because then I can slip them back into my container easily without having sticky stuff all over. I'll grab the Take Your Pick tool because it works really well with this trick. Open this up, the gummy end, squish it, push and lift. 1, 2, and we'll stick a big one up here, 3. And now you have your embellishments on your card. You can put another envelope layer in here. Maybe that could be the other sheet that we cut, right? That 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. Do you love it, Lisa? I know, this ghost holder, thecountryhive.com. All right, so there is sort of the finished card, almost the finished card. One version, and then this is the other version with the label from the kit. So, and you could put more pearls on there. I mean, this one needs more pearls, I think. Oh, this one I think has the layer. Yeah, it does. It has the layer from the other envelope layer in here, and you can stamp the acorns on there from the kit. So, isn't that pretty? Next, this is the one where I have the fun fold. Okay, so let's get our bone folder and give this a good crease. This is a fun one, you guys. Now you have to have, I have like 2 other projects to share plus one I'm going to talk about, so we might go about 15 minutes over. Hope you guys can deal with that. Grab a snack. Take your computer, take your phone or whatever you're watching. Go grab a snack. Okay, so this next one's got a little bit of humor to it. It's kind of punny. Punny, it's a very punny card. This layer here, it's got corn on it. Corn. I'm going to highlight this stalk, which is in front of the fence. Somehow that corn grew outside the fence. It's a special stalk of corn. We're gonna color it, and we could probably color it with a little bit of green too, but all I did was grab this here. This is the Wink of Stella. And let's zoom in so you can see a little bit better as I color. But you're just gonna take and add some of this glittery painty stuff right over the top of the corn kernels and the leaves, even up through here. Just make that corn sparkle. Make it amazing, right? Okay, keep going. We are making this corn stand out because it is awesome. All right, next, you're either going to use really nice handwriting or you're going to use your printer and you're going to print out a sentiment or write it out or whatever. And we need that on a strip that is about, I don't know, 1/2 inch tall. So that same strip that I was looking for before, you need about 1/2 inch tall of basic white cardstock. You could use basic white cardstock. You could also use, you know how like the paper that comes with these sometimes has some, well, this one doesn't. Well, here, like you could use this section here, right? You could totally use that. Okay, so let's say we have that finished. And we've got our corn standing out. It's really hard to see, isn't it? Can you see if I angle it this way? I'm gonna open my window. See if that helps. It's sparkly corn. Can you see it? I hope so. Okay, this piece is gonna get stuck onto here. Before we do that though, we wanna cut another layer of white. So we're gonna grab our white and we're gonna cut from it now. This white is going to be the same size as this layer, which measures 3.5 by 4 3/4 inches. Let's cut 3.5 by, I'm really zoomed in, aren't I? 4 3/4 inches. And we can use a special punch. Stampin' Up! Does not sell this, but you can find it in my favorite extras. It's the 3/8 inch circle punch. So you line this all up and then you take and you punch. And you can take and, you know, do a pencil mark if you want to, if you're nervous about punching through all of this at once. But basically I'm just making this layer the exact same size. So you could take and draw it with a pencil and then you could cut it with your hands, you know, using the scissors, just trim it out of there if you don't have this size circle punch. So now we have the exact same layer. We have to take and run our paper through the printer. And I have an Epson ET-2850. Do you like that? And I almost spelled it wrong. That's a hard word to spell. Okay, actually it's because I never used that word. But we're gonna trim off the top, then we're gonna bring it up to about, maybe it's a little under 1/2 inch. I don't know. Basically, you're trimming out your little sentiment piece. And I think we're just gonna use it like this for now. We're gonna grab our ribbon that I love so much. Gosh, this is one that I wish would stick around forever. And we're gonna put some adhesive on the back side here. Dry tape runner type adhesive or Tear and tape or whatever works for you. Hang on, I'm grabbing, here it is, my seal adhesive. So we're gonna roll that out. We're actually gonna trim this end. I forgot to do that. Trim. And then we're gonna set this on top of our ribbon so that just a little hint of it is showing. Pretty, right? Gosh, I love that ribbon. Okay, now we have stickies back here and we don't want them because part of this sentiment piece is gonna be flat on the card and part of it's gonna be stuck upward. So we want our dimensional here, but we're not gonna peel off the backing yet. Instead, we're gonna take a tool called the Embossing Buddy, which you can get in the Embossing Editions toolkit, and you're just gonna pounce, and it has this powder in there that comes out, and it takes away the adhesive, it takes away the sticky. And we're doing that all the way along here so that it's not sticky anymore. No stickiness. Okay? Powder's all over my fingers. Okay, next, we're gonna pull this backing off. Oh, no, we're not doing that yet. Hang on, we're gonna do this next. Okay, this part here can be stamped if you wanna stamp it. I don't know if I did stamp it, did I? No, but you could. You could take and use like the pumpkins in there, or the little birds, or the leaves, or the acorns, and stamp that. We're just gonna keep moving forward. Find my seal adhesive again. We're gonna lay this inside the card centered, like that. Powdery hands. Then we're gonna use dimensionals again. We're gonna put this right here on the card so we can see. I want a dimensional here, and I want a dimensional here, and that's on the folded area. Then we're gonna flip this over, and we're gonna put a couple dimensionals at the top, right there, and the top right there. We'll peel off the backings. And then we'll flip this. Still have powder on my fingers. We'll flip this, and we're gonna connect the bottom, because that's not, there's no stickiness there. So connect the bottom first, line it all up, and then let everything else fall into place. Grab this, pull the backing off, lay it where it's gonna go, which is right around here. Lift this up, put a little adhesive, a little adhesive right in that spot, and then take a dimensional, because remember, this is already stuck up higher. Put a dimensional also right there. And then you can take and lay that back in place, and it's gonna stick to the paper right here. Oops, I'm gonna do that again because it's kind of off. It's sticking to the paper here, and it's sticking to the card base right there. Flip it over, grab your scissors that can cut ribbon, and cut right through. And there's an amazing card. You are amazing. Wasn't that funny? So there's that card. The next one I'm just gonna tell you about, and then we're gonna do one last project. Thank you for sticking with me over time. Oh, you're joining late. Hi, Yvonne. Hi, Tara. Oh, thank you. This is my Mira Wig in the color Melted Sand. I have two of them because I'm liking the short hair. It's fun. All right, so this card here is really close to the screen. This card here is done using Tulle. Remember when we did Tulle on Wednesday? Let me find it. Tulle, 6-inch high Tulle, and I have a link to it in the video description and in my blog post that will go live connected to this video soon. So I used my Tulle, and I used a few of the loose shaker elements. There's a few in here that have kind of a reddish tone to them, and you pick them out of there. I also grabbed the green ones. There were green and reddish ones in there, and you just pick them out of there. How do you pick them out of there, Rachel? Oh my gosh, it's kind of putsy, but it can be done. Kind of shake it till you can see them, and then you go fishing with this tool. There it is. There's one, and you drop it. There's another one. Oops, I got a star on there too. Okay, so it's easy with the take your pick tool. You can take and weed them out of there. Once you have a few of those, like maybe, I don't know, 15, then you take and you make some leaves. And the leaves are, oh my gosh, here it is. It was stuck under my grid paper. Okay, the leaves are Cajun Craze color, right? Oops, sorry, I am here. Cajun Craze color, two-tone cardstock, because you want to have color on each side. So you don't want to use like a foil or something. You want to use a cardstock that's going to be colored on each side. And the two-tone will give you two different colors that way. Then you grab your trimmer, and I believe, let's see, what side did I cut it off of? Okay, so I trimmed a little 1/8-inch strip off of one end. Got an 1/8-inch strip off of there. I cut that strip in half. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then I cut those strips in half. Again, they don't have to be perfect, just cut them. Okay, then put them all together. They are thinner than regular cardstock, so you can do this pretty easily. Just take and put them together, and you add those to your sequin mix. And you don't have to do perfect little rectangles. Kind of go back and forth and do kind of an angled look. So you're getting these multiple colored leaves that match the Cajun Craze color on the trees, okay? Then you take your two, I have to find the newer kit. I think this is the newer one. Okay, then you take your two of these guys. So you're gonna use up two of them though. That's why this card might not be one that you wanna do a whole bunch of. But for you, those of you that love a challenge, you're gonna put adhesive on the front side. And I use tear and tape, fold it over or whatever. Anyways, tear and tape adhesive here, stuck my tool down nice and flat. And the reason why I put it there on the lower piece, because there's two of them together, but I put it on top because I didn't want my leaves getting caught on here. I wanted the leaves only to be going across the tulle, the Tulle, the fabric. So the leaves brush across this and they don't catch on the tree underneath if the tulle is on top. Then on the other one, you put the adhesive on the frame on the bottom side and you put the tulle on that side. So your tulle is sandwiching. You got tulle and then your paper on the outside. Your tulle is the only part that's touching your sequins and your pretend leaves. You stick your pretend leaves on top of the tulle on your lower one. You put adhesive, foam adhesive strips on these sides, or you can even, we have pre-cut ones, but they're a little big. I like the foam adhesive sheets. You can cut them to whatever size you want and just put like a real narrow 1/8 inch little piece in there or 3/16 of an inch or whatever, you know, just to cover up the frame area where you have your adhesive because you don't want any adhesive being exposed. So after you've done 1, 2, 3, 4 with no gaps, you don't want your sequins and all that stuff falling through. So you're gonna put one here, then you're gonna put your other one right next to it, right up against it, and do that all the way around. So it's a gate, nothing can get out. Put your sprinkles in there, stick this piece on top. That's your sandwich. So it's kind of like a regular shaker, only not with window sheets. It's with tulle so that you don't have that static. It's not shiny. There's no shine to it, right? And it really shows off the sparkle. This whole thing, I just stuck a little bit of glue on the bottom and then put it on the front of one of the card bases from the kit. And that's how you do that. Oh, thank you. Oh, thanks so much, you guys. So isn't that fun? And these leaves look like they're coming out of the tree. I mean, you could literally go like this and then go, oh, look at it, the leaves are falling out of the tree. This piece is from the kit and I just stuck it down here and here on that top frame piece with a glue dot and a glue dot. And it's a simple card if you follow the directions from Wednesday's video for tool shakers. When my blog post goes live for this one, I will have a couple progression photos where I took pictures of kind of a couple steps in here. So that should help. The last idea is using one of these, okay? You get 3 of these in your kit. If you want to use all these card bases for this particular project, you're going to get 6 items. So if you're hosting a dinner in the fall or for Thanksgiving holiday, if you're in the US or whatever, if you're hosting some event and you're going to have people with little party favors or place markers or whatever, you can use this kit. You could get a refill kit. After the 20th is typically when Stampin' Up! Will post the refill kits online. And so probably on Monday is when you can go in and purchase the refill kit. Can you purchase the refill kit if you're not a subscriber to Paper Pumpkin? Hold on, I gotta open this window. No, you cannot. You have to be an active subscriber in order to purchase Paper Pumpkin product, okay? So activate a subscription. Just try it out. Have fun, you guys. Get the kit. Have it come to your door. It's $27, which includes the shipping plus tax. So normally our kits are around the $20 mark when you're looking at kits collection stuff. It's a really good price. The shipping is included in this price plus tax. $27 plus tax, okay? We're gonna cut this in half. When you're seeing some of the items listed in my video description, you're gonna see that a lot of them are going to my favorite extras, which is a section in my website. So if you're on my website and you go to shop, you can click on my favorite extras and you can see a bunch of these items that I'm using that are extra, like the precision tip glue bottle, the 3/8 inch circle punch and that sort of thing. Okay, you have 2 of these, so you can make 6. Remember I said you can make 6. We're gonna go to the 1 1/4 inch spot here on the trimmer, and we're gonna score. We probably could have done this before we cut. We're gonna do this to all of them. 1 1/4, 1 1/4, and 1 1/4. Okay. So these are place markers, but you could put treats within them because of the way they're shaped. So they're gonna look like this. They have a little place where you could put like a little candy bar or, I don't know, a kind bar or something like that, right? So you can put something in there if you want to give a treat or party favor for your fall dinner. To decorate the front, we're either going to use a punched out circle, or you can use those large circles from the kit again. So you can use your punched out 2-inch circle. You can take and print off people's names onto your computer again and cut them into strips and then stick the strips on here like that. Let's say this is the same paper. Then you flip it over and you take and you trim it up so that it fits the circle. So then you have people's names written on your circles. For the decorations, okay, you get 3 sheets of these, right? 3 of these sheets, and I think I've already pulled the other one out from somewhere. Anyways, you get 3 of these, but look at, you have 1 bunch, 2 bunch. You have 2 bunches of leaves on each of these sheets. So you technically have 6 of these, 6 of these, and we're gonna cut right here and then around this leaf here, because this is the one that's going to be seen. So we're focused on what this one looks like, not on what this looks like. We want this piece to look pretty good. So now we have that. We're gonna put our circle down. We're gonna stick our leaves behind like that so that we just have a fuller looking design. And we're using up a leaf that otherwise would have gotten covered. So you might as well cut that out of there and make it become part of your decorations. The finished one looks like this. I added a bit of curvature with the bone folder, so I curled my leaves a bit. There's my printed name on there, and I stuck this up with dimensionals just by putting 3 back here, and then I stuck these things behind after the circle was already on here and centered where I wanted it to go. The, what do I have on? Oh. It's reflecting. I thought it was white all of a sudden. I'm like, where? I'm wearing my black microphone and it looked white. That was weird. And then the pearls are on there. Let's get a little fancier. If you have the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, you can use that circle die. Here it is. From your Paper Pumpkin coordinating set of dies. Which are these, the Circle of Seasons dies. This came from here. So you can use that and that miniature leaf. You can use the bigger leaf that comes with the Autumn Toile, I think it's called, that suite in the catalog. And you can use a little bit of that green ribbon for fun. So here we have a couple of those big leaves tucked in there, one of the small ones. This is that circle die. And here's that ribbon just tied in a knot and stuck right underneath so that it's tucked in where the dimensional areas are. So that's that. Lots of ideas. I just kept going, you guys. I have a hard time refraining from creating from this kit. I was like, no, but I have another idea. And you should see me when I'm at home. I'm just like sitting here and I'm thinking, okay, it's 6:30 at night. I really need to make dinner. No, I have one more idea. I just keep going. My poor family, they're like starving because I like to create. Yeah. Okay, so let me put these out and we'll expand the viewing area a bit so you can see Well, both of those are different, so we'll set those in here like that. Gosh, can we fit these all in? Probably not. We'll try. We will try. Okay, and then these are the simpler ones. We'll stick those underneath here. Can you see them all? Oh, I love paper pumpkin kits. I love any kind of kit. I love the challenge of taking a small amount of product and adding just some simple things and seeing what I can create beyond. It's one of my passions. So I hope that you continue to follow me, subscribe to my YouTube channel, click like for the thumbs up. I really appreciate that. Okay, Creatives Tutorials. I'm in a group. We partner together and we make exclusive ideas using our paper pumpkin kits. If you are one of my personal paper pumpkin subscribers, you get those ideas sent to you via email on the 1st of the month following the kit. So on October 1st, all of my paper pumpkin subscribers and my team members, because my team members get everything, will get an email with a link to that special exclusive tutorial. Make sure that you're a part of it. It's fun. You can also, if you are a demonstrator yourself and you're not in my team, or you're somebody else's subscriber for paper pumpkin kits, I'm not trying to steal you. So you also have the option of purchasing those tutorials from one of us, and those get posted on our websites. Again, my blog is stampyourartout.com. You can find that information on October 1st so that you can purchase that exclusive tutorial bundle from me that way, okay? What else do I want to tell you about? Paper Pumpkin Fan Club. I haven't promoted that one enough. This is a group that I started years ago, and it is running strong, you guys. There's still more and more people that are requesting to be a part of that group. Make sure you answer the membership questions and make sure you follow the rules. It's all about sharing. There's no trading, swapping, selling. It's just sharing ideas in there. So please be a part of that group. It's really fun. It's the Paper Pumpkin Fan Club on Facebook. And then you'll want to make sure that you are clicking later on today on the description of the video where the blog link is going to be, because I also have just Stampin' Up! Information in there about the Advent calendar that's coming up on the 23rd, World Card Making Day, all of that stuff. All right? There's a lot to share, always. Thank you, everybody. Okay, did we have questions? At this point, we're 20 minutes, almost 20 minutes over, but I'm just going to shout that out there and see if there are any questions from our live viewers that I did not see. I would try to peek up every once in a while to catch comments. Thank you again to my members who support my channel. They get to use those special emojis. You guys are like, where did the blue butterfly come from? It's because she's a member. She gets to use the extra emojis. I need to refresh some of those emojis, you guys. Now that fall is here and our crazy summer has ended, I will try to set aside some time to do that. They also have rhinestones next to their name. They are special people. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. Thank you, Trudy. Thanks so much. And Lisa, thanks for joining. Hope, thank you. So any questions, just shout them out. At this point, you know, I can't really scroll back an hour ago and see if there were questions. I would not have time. Thanks, Judy. It's good to see you on here. Yay. Go be with my family. Nan says, go away. Actually, so my oldest just went to work. He's back moving furniture again, the one who broke his ankle. He's on to his second day in a row of working for the moving company. So that's good. And my other one is upstairs sleeping. He's healing that his surgery. We all had surgery, all three of us. And my husband's running errands. Bless his soul. So no questions? Sleep first. I do get sleep now. Oh, you know what? Things are getting better in my health world. I just want to tell you. So thank you for all the prayers, you guys. Yeah, I think, you know, stress is a contributor. So if you are experiencing stress, you need to start taking time for you. You know, I know that sometimes when you're in the midst of it, if there are things that are out of your control, all of a sudden you're the only parent watching the kids, somebody had surgery, you're running a garage sale all at the same time. Those kinds of things can affect you. So try to just have your Zen time, your calm time, your relaxation time. I'm now listening to like this music before I go to bed, and it's helpful. Little self-meditation. Okay, I will shut up because nobody seems to be asking questions, so I'm gonna let you all go. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you on Wednesday. I'm sharing I think I'm sharing 2 different kits on Wednesday. And then we'll go to a fun fold. My schedule is right over there. I think that's what we're doing. So I hope you come back. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Tara. All right, take care, everybody. Now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.